Robert Glenn Ford's name has been out of the headlines for some time now, but the impacts of his actions still ring loud. The disgraced former Norfolk police homicide detective was found guilty of extortion and other charges in 2011 and sentenced to 12 years in federal prison. There are several Virginia inmates who believe they still sit behind bars for crimes they didn't commit at the hands of Ford. So what hope is left for them? 10 on your side's Markeisha Jackson explains.
Regina, many of the cases involving Ford happened more than 20 years ago. In 2023, Norfolk Commonwealth's attorney Ramin Fadahi announced a complete review of every file involving Ford. We took a deep dive into how that review has been going. He's a free man now, but his reputation precedes him. Robert Glenn Ford spent years as a detective with the Norfolk Police Department, but behind the badge, bad intentions. Ford found himself on the other side of the law with an extortion conviction nearly 15 years ago. He served 10 years for forcing false confessions.
The question on everybody's minds is, are there other innocent people in prison because Detective Ford framed them?
Some say yes.
Because I've been in prison for 25 years.
A lot of them have done some really hard time.
The crimes stack up going back to the 90s.
After you read one case, you read another case. After you talk to one person, here comes another victim.
Marva Austin is the executive director of Prisoners' Rights Clinic, advocating for the incarcerated.
It was just a matter of me wanting to get my twin sister out of prison.
She eventually won her sister's freedom, a case not involving Ford, but caught the attention of Ford's alleged victims.
I heard Arsene Hicks' case first.
At only 16, he was convicted in the fatal shooting of an off-duty Norfolk Naval Shipyard police officer. Hicks always claimed his confession was forced. In 2024, a judge vacated Hicks's conviction. His attorney presented evidence indicating Detective Ford repeatedly slammed Hicks's head into a table during his interrogation. Yet Hicks still remains behind bars as the Attorney General's office has appealed that decision. Now Hicks' team waits for the Virginia Court of Appeals to review the case.
Then from there, I received a call from Mr. LaShawn Gill.
This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording.
Gill also reached out to 10 on Your Side.
Detective Ford, he came, got me from the Fredericksburg police station, and the first thing he said was, if you try anything on the way back, I'll kill you. And I told him immediately that I wanted a lawyer, and he seemed angry about that.
Gill's crimes took place in June of 2000. One was a domestic dispute with the mother of his children. The other crime involved another woman whose house he claims he was invited to. According to Gill, a tussle ensued and that woman and her child were shot but survived. The paperwork says it was intentional, but Gill says it was accidental. He claims the gun belonged to the woman and he was just defending himself.
It didn't happen the way that he wanted me to say it.
Gill claims he got threatened, beaten.
I was in total fear that he was going to try to kill me.
Coerced into a confession.
He stopped the recording and hit me and started beating me in the head to force me to tell the same story that he told me to say in the car.
We obtained a transcript of Gill's original statement. Several times he asked to start over, each time Ford denied. And before Gill knew it, he was in a courtroom to be sentenced.
And he said 3 life sentences plus 120 years. And it just took my breath away because, again, the punishment didn't fit the crime in my eyes.
As for Arsene Hicks,
I was happy to hear that he was able to get his sentences. His sentences are supposed to be vacated, but here's the problem. The judge hasn't signed it. So when he went up for parole in June, he still went up under parole for the crimes they say he did not commit.
It's the worst kind of pain.
He kept saying that he didn't do it.
The kind that keeps Glenda Hicks up at night.
It's just heartbreaking My heart's still breaking down because he's still in there.
Life keeps moving on while her husband, Arsene, remains behind bars. Arsene was convicted of murder in 2001 after giving a coerced confession extracted by Robert Glenn Ford. In 2024, a Norfolk Circuit Court threw out his conviction.
Oh my God. He was crying, I was crying, but I couldn't touch him because he was, he's still incarcerated.
The Attorney General's office appealed the decision, and Hicks remains behind bars until it's settled in court.
No one deserves to have their testimony forced.
LaShawn Gill's sister lives an eerily similar nightmare. Her brother is in jail on 3 life sentences based on a confession he says Ford forced him to give.
He don't get a chance to try to be a good citizen. He has grandchildren now, and they never knew him either. So again, it's just, the conversation is, if we get that one day, if we get that chance, what memories can we make now that we missed all along?
Meanwhile, the convicted man dripping in corruption, Robert Glenn Ford, is out of jail creating new memories. Left to clean up the mess Ford left behind is Norfolk Commonwealth's attorney, Ramin Fadahi.
Every officer and detective who's doing it the right way has to answer for Glenn Ford. Every prosecutor who does it the right way has to answer for Glenn Ford.
In 2023, Fadahi tapped UVA law professor Deirdre Enright to lead the review of these cases.
I have very little doubt when I say that I think we will probably find other cases.
Enright previously ran the UVA Innocence Project, which already handled several Ford cases, the most notable, the Norfolk 4.
I know I'm not the only one. There's lots of folks out there.
Local advocate Marva Austin says it's time for others to receive the same.
Looks like there's a little bit more compassion with the Norfolk 4, and I'm not saying they didn't deserve compassion, because if they were right to be out of prison, let's get them out. But what about these black men?
Austin says watching these men grow older behind bars stings as Ford walks free.
He got a cakewalk. Robert Glenn Ford was charged with extortion. He was never charged with all the beatings.
She calls it a grave miscarriage of justice. Fadahi says the review is a lengthy and complicated process.
Just because Glenn Ford was somehow connected with a case, that doesn't mean that the case itself or that the conviction itself automatically gets thrown out.
From behind bars, Hicks and Gill dream of another chance.
I would like my day in court so I could tell my side of the story to a jury.
He just being patient and waiting on the time that he comes home.
Now, we did reach out to Robert Glenn Ford. His attorney says that he declined to comment. Professor Enright with UVA says the hope is to have the review done by the end of the year. If you believe Mr. Ford was involved in your own or a loved one's criminal case and you would like to add it to the review, you can find directions on how to do so over on wavy.com. Markeisha Jackson, 10 on your side.